As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it soars in beautiful skies that just can't be ignored. And by this country I'll always stand, for freedom and liberty for every man. When times are hard and things get rough, America always stands ready and rough. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. Forever American is what I am.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. I want to thank Linda Taylor for that donation, and also Beth for that other donation last night that I didn't see till tonight. Thank you guys. Hi BK, hi Nana, hi Tia. How you guys doing tonight? Hi James, Karen, Linda, Susan. How you doing? A lot going on in the world, of course. We're starting off with more ridiculousness, of course. Who else but the Biden family, of course, would try to say, oh, we're going to sue Hunter Biden again, now suing Rudy Giuliani and other lawyers for accessing and sharing his personal data. His personal data, of course, that he left on a computer. And it was obtained from the computer shop owner in Delaware that actually owned the computer at the time, because he abandoned the property. Abandoned the property, of course, allowed that data to be passed around in private emails, and included embarrassing images, of course, with him and his minor sex capades. I'm going to repeat that, minors, and other information. Now, the suit is saying that Giuliani and attorney Robert Castellano spent years hacking info, tampering with it, manipulating, copying, dismantling, and generally obsessing with it. First of all, the data wasn't taken or stolen. Hunter Biden left the device, basically surrendering it to the shop because he didn't ever pick it up. And now he wants to sue because the shop gave it over to Republicans. And of course, the information on it went public, showing that Joe Biden, of course, and everybody else, and this corruption scheme that we're following now. And it's not in an effort to discredit his father. The images and the information itself discredits President Joe Biden. But the suit claims that the data was manipulated, altered, and damaged before it was sent to Giuliani and Castellano. And it has been further altered since then. Well, we're seeing emails, of course, only 14 emails the DOJ actually released out of the 5,300 emails. But those emails coincide with the actual emails that were found on the laptop. So it's not a question that those emails were real. They weren't made up. Did the, of course, Giuliani team hack the servers of the White House and alter the emails that were there in the DOJ's complaint? It was ridiculous. Yeah, the government looks at all our data anytime it wants, and it does it free nilly-willy. Biden doesn't explicitly acknowledge that the laptop was left at the computer store shop he was, and said at least some time the data was on his iPhone or backed up to the iCloud. You can have data backed up, but if you leave the actual device with the information on it, you then turn over that information. You, of course, surrender it. You know, claim the property you own. It's ridiculous at this point. Not only that, the White House is having to play don't let him trip for Biden. It's ridiculous. There's extra steps having to be taken from the presidential team to keep Biden from stumbling, including balance exercises and wearing tennis shoes. I'm sorry, but when somebody needs tennis shoes keep walking so they can actually balance, because their balance is so bad already, there might be a bigger problem. Maybe he shouldn't be POTUS. I mean, I know there was a lot of controversy when Obama, of course, wore his tan suit at a press conference, and that move obviously was not presidential, very unpresidential. But of course, having a president having to wear tennis shoes to avoid slipping, to avoid stumbling, and doing balance exercises to make sure he can get on the short stairs of Air Force One, not even the regular stairs. I mean, this is entirely embarrassing to the United States. How old is too old? That should be a question we're all asking. We're sitting there with a president that's already corrupt. He shouldn't be in office anyways. But the problem is we should be asking ourselves, there should be something to stop this from even happening, even if he didn't have issues with the fraud and everything else that he is, of course, going to be charged with eventually. When you have an old man that can no longer walk himself around, doesn't know where he's at half the time, this is a serious security issue, especially saying he's the president of the United States. I mean, it has to be a joke. Yeah, everyone was mess with Trump. Everyone talked garbage about Trump, about his senile, he was senile, he didn't know what he was doing, he didn't da-da-da. They wanted him to pass a Alzheimer's test, or a cognitive test. It's ridiculous. Hi, Alex, how you doing tonight? Just seeing you join us. Hope you're doing well. But watching all this, of course, 80 years old is way too old. Let's be honest. I don't care who it is. 80 years old should not be in the White House. I mean, anybody this day and age should be saying the same thing. And Biden's age should be the biggest concern at the moment. Of course, his re-election's not going to happen. We know that. As information, of course, unfolding in the polls, and his numbers are dropping drastically as Trump's numbers continue to climb. Biden team is criticizing the media for focusing on Biden's age and his supposed corruption, because we can't call it true corruption yet because it's not proven, but everything is leading directly towards that. I mean, Common sense tells me he was involved in the Hunter Biden deal, so that's not a question. But Biden, only that, makes a mockery of the United States today as he makes a historical visit to the United Auto Workers picket lines and tells unions to stick with it. Ford is on the brink of bankruptcy. So is both other manufacturers at this point. He's saying yes when he asked if the members deserve a 40% raise. 40% is not just some pennies. This is ridiculous. Saying that they need to stick with the strike and get at least their 40%, that's what they're asking for. And they're not just asking this for anybody, they're asking this for everybody. It's ridiculous. How can America survive when the government is meddling in every single aspect of American lives? Taking down now auto workers, of course, think this is great that Biden stood up for them. But the problem is, what happens when none of them have a job? Yes, they're standing in unity right now in solidarity. And I understand, yes, they deserve a raise. 40% is way too much. But watching this unfold, if they don't have jobs at the end of this, who are they going to blame? Who are they going to blame? Who are they going to blame when Ford files for bankruptcy? Who are they going to blame when GE files for bankruptcy or General Motors? Then what? It's sad, but it's true. Yeah, his dog biting another Secret Service agent today. That's a joke. Just the whole thing is a joke. And Democrats, of course, now are attacking their own, as Menendez, of course, calls for Menendez to resign, joining growing list of Democrats that want him out after shocking allegations of corruption and specific disturbing details of wrongdoing. Finding almost $500,000 in cash in his house wasn't enough. Gold bars, luxury cars, cash, all paid from 3 New Jersey businessmen in exchange for corrupt acts. But yet he's still sitting in Congress, or the House, which is just a joke. He was formerly the chairman of the most powerful Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And he's still there. Instead of kicking the senator out, of course, impeaching him for his growing numbers of crimes. And he should be out. Shouldn't be a question. We know, of course, what he's done. The money's there, the cash is there, the gold is there, the cars are there. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's what Biden will do. Give 450,000 work permits to illegal immigrants and put them to work for Ford for pennies on the dollar. I can imagine seeing that. And then what happens to all those people picketing? They all lost their jobs. Nobody gets anything in return. Democrats still attacking Trump. This whole freaking thing in New York is a joke. The judge, of course, ruled today that Donald Trump committed fraud for years while building his real estate empire and catapulting into fame in the White House. Of course, the lawsuit that brought by New York Attorney General found that former president and his company deceived banks, insurers, and massively overvaluing his assets and exaggerating his net worth on paper used for making deals and securing loans. First of all, in order for fraud to happen when making deals or securing loans, there has to be a complainant. Let's emphasize this first and foremost. No complainant. Of course, this is a miscarriage of justice, completely disconnected from the facts and governing laws as we face another attack on Trump. I mean, the decision to seek and nationalize one of the most successful corporate empires in the United States and seize control of private property while acknowledging there is zero evidence of any default, breach, late payment, or any complaint of harm. That's right, not a single breach, default, late payment, or complaint of harm coming from any of these items that happened with Trump's involvement. Trump has long insisted he's done nothing wrong, which there's a lot of people that overvalue properties just to secure higher loan values to make more business. That's business 101. Your property has to be worth more in order to make money work for you. I mean, we know several people that have gotten away with it in the past, and it's just sickening. The Attorney General is trying to destroy a man's life, a company, and accomplishments at this point. And we're seeing this just days before the non-jury trial starts, and another lawsuit strongly repeated upon yet Trump's carefully image of wealth and, of course, shrewd real estate mogul. It's ridiculous watching this happen. He repeatedly lied on annual financial statements, not to the government, but to favorable loan terms and lower insurance costs. That's surprising. No other fucking rich person does that. I'm sorry for my language, but this is ridiculous. This fantasy world our government agents live in, of course, pushing now to restrict land worth the same as unrestricted land. It's ridiculous. Literally claiming that the property, of course, was bought by extraordinary or other lies to other parties, of course, trying to seize that property. It's a joke. Oh, it is sad watching what's happening. America is falling apart, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not. But luckily, tomorrow night, we will be covering the presidential debate, the second GOP presidential debate. We will be covering that at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. We'll be coming on a half hour early, cover the second presidential debate. A smaller stage lineup than last month by one person, of course, missing the famous Arizona governor that did so well in the last debate. Trump, of course, not participating again. He will be in Michigan, I believe, tomorrow. But we will be covering that, of course, talking about what's going on with these supposable members that are going to be so great for this country, like Chris Christie and Doug Berman and Tim Scott. Bunch of jokes at this point. But we will be covering that as we go forward tomorrow. Hopefully, it does go well. You got to pray for the best. We're seeing what's happening. It's not. Of course, Russia supposedly beaten yesterday so bad because of the missile strikes on the port or on the military base in Kiev. Crimea. Russian drone strikes now in Odessa region, hitting the heavy port area, cutting ferry services to Romania. Massive damages in the Black Sea region of Odessa. And a drone barrage that damaged warehouses, charred dozens of trucks, injured 2 drivers, a ferry explosion, and suspended ferry services. And they can't deny it because Russia shot video of it happening. Of course, Ukraine's anti-aircraft fire streaking through the night sky, following 2 orange fireballs exploding near the port, showing that they could not stop these from coming in. Not even near stop any of them. Just massive firing strikes. It's ridiculous. Supposedly, we're sending all this billions of dollars to Ukraine because they're doing so good. They're stopping Russia, and it's going to make it all go better. It's not. Russia tried to say it stopped an air attack on Odessa. That's what Ukraine's trying to state, that it stopped the air attack. That it downed 26 out of 38 drones launched by Russia. The video shows otherwise. Video shows at least 20 drones hitting targets. You can't, of course, deny that. So watching, of course, Ukraine directly deny something that we can see with our own eyes is abundantly ridiculous. Badly damaging high-rise hotels and other grain warehouses in Odessa. watching these attacks come day after day. I mean, Monday they hit again, or they hit Monday and then they hit again today. Yeah, bus dumping off people next to their work. Yeah, I couldn't use the video because it's not exactly stable, but it is disgusting. It's the Zelensky show. That's what it is. And Americans need to be honest with themselves at this point. It's looking bad. But we will be live, like I said, tomorrow night. We're starting early, so be with us at 9 o'clock. Well, we'll probably start a little bit before 9, talk about what's going to happen during the debate, who we want to win, and what our outcomes are looking like. We will be taking calls, so make sure you tune in live tomorrow night, probably at 8:45. We'll get started. See you guys then, and God bless you guys. God bless America, and thank you guys for joining us. Till then, be strong, be safe, and stand tall. God bless you. God bless America. Good night.